In this section, we're going to talk about equations that have special solutions. So we already know how to solve an equation, but now there are two different types that we're going to look at. So we have a no solution and infinitely many solutions. Both of these is when your variable term cancels out. Then something special happens. But the key is variable terms cancel out. So if you look at no solution, you've got negative 8x minus 4 equals negative 8x minus 2. You guys know I like to bring the variable term to the left, so I'm going to add 8x to both sides. My variable term is canceled out to 0, and then I have a negative 4. My variable term is canceled out to 0, and now I have a negative 2. Now what I look at is I look at the truth statement. This is a truth statement. Is negative 4 equal to negative 2? No, it's not. So my truth statement says there's no solution because they're not equal. But notice variable term cancels out. Okay, that's the key here. And then you look at the truth statement. Okay, let's look at infinitely many. What does that look like? Well, I have negative 5 minus 9x. I distribute out the 3. And I'm going to combine like terms. So over here I have negative 5 minus 9x. I like to bring my variable term to the left. So I'm going to add 9x to both sides. My variable term cancels out. I'm left with negative 5. My variable term cancels out. I'm left with negative 5. Now let's look at the truth statement. Does negative 5 equal negative 5? Yes, it does. Therefore, it's infinitely many solutions. So when it's a false statement, you have no solution. When it's a true statement, you have infinitely many solutions. Okay, so that's what that means. Now, let's take a look at these 4 examples down here. And let's just run through these real quick. You know how to solve an equation. Distribute if needed. I definitely need to, so I get 6x plus 6 minus 3x equals 6 plus 3x. I combine my like terms, and I get 3x plus 6 equals 6 plus 3x. I like to move my variable term to the left, so I'm going to subtract 3x to both sides. My variable term cancels out and leaves me with positive 6. My variable term cancels out and leaves me with positive 6. I look at the truth statement. This is a true statement, so I have infinitely many solutions. Let's take a look at number 2. 12x minus 36 equals 14x minus 28. I like to move my variable terms to the left, so I get negative 14x. Negative 14x. My variable term is not canceling out, so I know it is not going to be a special case. Here they cancel out. I have negative 28. I'm going to add 36 to both sides. I have negative 2x equals 8. 8. And then I divide both sides by negative 2, and I get x equals negative 4. There is one solution. X is negative 4, okay? So this one, there is a solution. Let's go back. Let's look at number 3. All right, so distribute if needed. I need to. So I get 40x minus 24 equals negative 18x minus 24. I add 18x to both sides. My variable term does not cancel out, so I know that I'm going to have a solution. And I get 58x minus 24 equals negative 24. I add 24 to both sides, and I get 58x equals 0. I have a solution here. Just because you see a 0 does not mean a special situation. I divide both sides by 58. And 0 divided by 58 is 0. So my solution here is still one solution. The solution is 0. 0, it's still real, it's still rational, it's still an integer, it's still a whole number. It's still a valid solution. So x equals 0. Number 4, last one, 3x minus 13. Once I distribute out my 7, I get 7x plus 14. I'm distributing out this negative 4, so I get negative 4x and a positive 28. I combine my like terms. So over on the right-hand side, I have 7x and negative 4x, which is 3x. I have 14 and a 28, which is plus a 42. And then I subtract 3x on both sides. My variable term cancels out. My variable term cancels out. Variable terms canceled out, so I know I have a special solution. Here I have negative 13. Here I have 42. My truth statement says this is false. This is a false statement, therefore I have no solution. So in each of these situations, 3 things can happen. One solution, no solution, or infinitely many. With the no solution and infinitely many, my variable terms have canceled out. If you need help, come and see me.